Lecture 4, Identity Crisis, Engineering the False Hero and Thematic Recognition. The narrative cycle demands not only that the hero completes their task, the liquidation of the lack, function K, but also that the world acknowledges and validates that achievement. It is not enough for the hero to be successful, they must also be seen and believed. This final act of functional proof is often complicated by one of the most structurally rewarding elements in all of narrative architecture, the false hero, function L. The false hero is a mechanism of doubt and complication introduced late in the story to test the hero's identity and merit. This element ensures that the final new equilibrium is earned and authenticated beyond any reasonable doubt. Today, we will blueprint the functional requirements of the false hero, function L, map the precise evidence needed for recognition, function EX, and sequence the final, irreversible transition to the hero's triumphant state, the Transfiguration, function T. Part 1. Engineering the Shadow Self, function L. The false hero, function L, is any person, group, or entity that attempts to assume the credit, reward, or identity belonging to the true protagonist after the central victory, function Y, has been achieved. Functionally, the false hero serves three critical purposes: complication, thematic contrast, and authentication. The structural role of complication. The sequence from the final struggle, function H, to the establishment of the new equilibrium, function W, can be dangerously swift. The false hero introduces a mandatory complication that acts as a gate between victory, function Y, and recognition, function EX. Upon achieving the victory, I, and initiating the return, function C, the true hero is often in a weakened, disguised, or unrecognized state. This vulnerability is the structural opening for the false hero. Function L creates a temporary lack. The introduction of the false hero immediately creates a new, temporary lack of validation. The main quest is technically over, lack K is achieved, but the hero cannot yet claim the reward, new equilibrium W, because their identity is denied. The entire focus of the final segment shifts from "Can the hero save the world?" to "Can the hero prove they saved the world?" This is a powerful shift in tension, moving from physical action to psychological and judicial action. The false hero as structural mirror. The most sophisticated use of function L is to make the false hero a structural mirror or shadow self to the protagonist. The false hero should embody the negative choices, the structural shortcuts, and the unresolved flaws that the true hero overcame earlier in the narrative. Consider the donor sequence we previously analyzed. The hero was tested, function TH, and had to choose between the path of virtue, function D positive, or the path of self-interest, function D negative. The false hero is often structurally defined by having chosen function D negative at every possible juncture. If the true hero suffered through a remedial loop to earn their magical agent, E, the false hero likely stole a similar agent or claimed an agent without any struggle. If the true hero was defined by humility, the false hero will be defined by arrogance and self-proclamation. This structural contrast is key to the final thematic payoff. When the true hero is recognized, function EX, it is a victory of their virtuous path over the false hero's shortcuts. Partius 2, the false claim and functional belief. For the narrative to maintain integrity, the claims made by the false hero, function L, must be functionally believable to the other characters, the king, the family, the public. If the claim is transparently false, the complication fails. The structural success of function L depends on the true hero's vulnerable state and the false hero's efficient use of deception. 3 functional modes of deception. The false hero's ability to assume the identity typically relies on one or a combination of 3 functional modes. Theft of the agent or evidence, stealing function E or I. This is the most common mode. The false hero intercepts or steals the tangible proof of the victory. Functional action. After the victory, I. But before the return, C. The false hero finds the wounded true hero and either steals the magical agent, E, or takes the physical spoils, e.g., the villain's crown, the rescued princess's token. Structural effect. The false hero arrives first with the physical evidence, creating immediate false proof. The true hero's testimony alone is insufficient because the expected function E is missing from their possession. False proclamation and deceit, misusing function Z. This mode relies on misinformation, preemptive announcements, and exploiting social status. Functional action. The false hero is often already a person of high social standing, e.g. a known knight, a royal cousin. They rush back to the new equilibrium point and claim credit before the true hero is even expected. They use their pre-existing authority to lend weight to their false report. Function L. Structural effect. The community accepts the claim because it aligns with their expectations of status. The false hero successfully substitutes their own mediation, function Z, compelling the king or community to believe their lie. Functional misidentification, exploiting function C. This happens when the true hero is intentionally or unintentionally disguised during the return, function C. Functional action. The true hero may have taken a vow of silence, be wearing peasant clothes, or be severely injured and unrecognizable. The false hero, meanwhile, is clean and well-spoken, arriving in an expected manner. Structural effect. The community identifies the false hero based on their appearance and demeanor, failing to recognize the true hero due to the effects of their long struggle. The failure of identification is the necessary condition for the false hero's temporary success. Functional sequence of deception. The most effective false hero sequence flows like this. Function I, victory. Function L, deception. Function C, return disguised weakened. Function L, claim. New lack of validation. Comprehension exercise A, designing the false hero's claim. Scenario. A hero, known for being shy and lacking self-confidence, has just returned from a perilous journey where they recovered the lack, A, the sacred orb of the kingdom, which grants peace only to the one who successfully recovers it. During their return, C, they wear rags and cannot speak publicly due to a curse from the final struggle, H. Challenge. Design the structural actions of the false hero, function L, to make their claim functionally believable. False hero's identity and flaw. Define the false hero, e.g. a court official, and their defining flaw, e.g. opportunism, superficiality. Mode of deception. Which mode, theft, deceit, or misidentification, is most effective here? Justify your choice based on the true hero's state. Functional action of function. L. What specific lie or stolen item does the false hero present to convince the court that they brought back the orb? The new lack created. State the specific obstacle, lack the true hero now faces before they can achieve recognition, EX. Part 3. The moment of proof recognition, function X. Function 27, function X. Recognition of the hero is the functional climax of the identity conflict. It is the action that irrevocably liquidates the lack of validation created by the false hero, function L. Recognition must be definitive and cannot be debated. It transitions the hero from a doubtful claimant to an authenticated savior. The functional requirement for recognition is irrefutable evidence. Mapping the functional requirements for proof. The evidence used for recognition, function X, always connects back to an action performed by the true hero during the main narrative arc. We can categorize this evidence into 3 functional types. The functional talisman. The talisman is a piece of evidence related to the magical agent, function E, or the object of the quest, lack K. The proof. The true hero possesses knowledge of the talisman's function, or a unique mark upon it that only the original wielder would know. Structural link. This proves the hero was present during the donor sequence, THDE, or the final victory, I. For example, the true hero knows the hidden password to activate the orb, lack K, that the false hero cannot utter. This connects EX directly back to the intellectual test passed earlier. The functional mark, branding. The mark is a scar, brand, or unique injury sustained by the true hero during the struggle, function H, or pursuit, function P1. The proof. The true hero is the only one who bears a specific, identifying injury inflicted by the villain. Structural link. This proves the hero endured the suffering and completed the physically demanding segment of the quest. It directly links X back to the physical test passed during the donor sequence. If the false hero stole the spoils, they did not receive the scar, proving their deception. The functional witness. The witness is a secondary character who can provide verifiable testimony regarding the final victory, function 1. The proof. The rescued person, LAC K, or a friendly third party, donor TH, is brought forward to confirm the sequence of events, often by identifying the hero based on an emotional connection the false hero cannot replicate. Structural link. This proves the hero completed the required actions. Crucially, the witness must have been present during a unique event, often the final struggle, H, a functional event the false hero cannot describe. Sequencing the irrevocable proof. The actual execution of recognition, function EX in a script, is often a dramatic, prolonged scene where the false hero's lies are sequentially dismantled. False hero's claim, function L. The false hero boasts and presents their stolen proof. Challenge. The true hero, often still disguised, raises a single point of doubt. Introduction of evidence, EX Act 1. The functional evidence is presented, e.g. the true hero is asked to solve a riddle about the orb that only the true wielder knows. False hero's attempted counter. The false hero attempts to imitate or lie, but fails, e.g. they try to draw the sword, but it remains locked. A functional failure related to function E. Irrevocable proof, EX Act 2. The definitive proof is revealed, e.g. the true hero's mask is removed, revealing the mark Chak's scar, or the witness speaks the final damning truth. The moment the proof is accepted by the governing authority, the king, the people, is the moment the lack of validation is liquidated. Part 4. Sequencing the showdown and transformation. The functional sequence surrounding the false hero must conclude swiftly and powerfully to maintain climax momentum. Once recognition, function EX occurs, the narrative must immediately proceed to punishment, function U, and transfiguration, function T. The structural necessity of transfiguration, function T. Function 29, function T. Transfiguration is the functional counterpart to recognition. If function X proves who the hero is, function T allows the hero to embody their new state. The hero, having been disguised, weary, or unrecognized, is now symbolically and literally restored to their rightful glory. They are washed, clothed in new robes, healed, and presented to the public in a state that reflects their new status: the ruler, the savior, the rewarded champion. Why transfiguration must follow: recognition. Thematic closure. The new equilibrium, function W, demands a worthy champion. The scruffy traveler who fought the dragon is not the ruler. The transfigured, recognized savior is. Function T is the physical manifestation of the hero's achieved arc. Public validation. The public, which doubted the hero during function L, needs a physical, visible sign of the hero's restored status to accept the final new equilibrium. Function T is the official endorsement of the hero's success. The final cascade, the functional sequence. The sequence for the entire final act should flow as a seamless cascade. Function H, struggle. Followed by function 1, victory. Followed by liquidation, K. Followed by return, C. Followed by pursuit, P1. Followed by rescue, R. Followed by recognition, X. Followed by punishment, U. Followed by new equilibrium, W. The immediate functional sequence that deals with the false hero is even tighter. Function L, false claim. Followed by recognition, X. Followed by punishment, U. The final three functions must flow in this order to achieve structural closure. Function EX, recognition. Identity is proven. Function U, punishment. The structural error, the false hero, is corrected. Function W, new equilibrium, wedding. The world is restored and celebrated. The false hero's fate in function U is directly tied to the hero's moral code, which was proven in the earlier donor sequence, THD. A heroic choice of mercy, punishment path C, is only valid if the hero proved their capacity for mercy in their initial test. Comprehension exercise B, sequencing the climax. Scenario: the true hero has just exposed the false hero in a public assembly. Function EX complete. The king demands justice. Challenge: sequence the immediate actions that follow, using a thematic mercy, path C, for the punishment. Function U, thematic mercy. The hero must make a choice that demonstrates their virtue. Describe the action and the true hero's motivation for sparing the false hero. Functional consequence of U. How does the sparing of the false hero, function U, set up the need for transfiguration, function T? Hint: the true hero's humble appearance or fatigue must contrast sharply with their profound moral authority. Function T, transfiguration. Describe the immediate physical and social change the hero undergoes. How does this transfiguration immediately solidify their status as the new, morally complex leader? Part V, the thematic payoff of punishment, U. While the full analysis of punishment, function U, belongs in a subsequent lecture, its functional connection to the false hero is vital. The false hero, function L, is the physical embodiment of the lie, and their punishment, function U, is the final purifying act that cleanses the narrative. The severity of the punishment should match the severity of the false hero's deception. If the false hero merely claimed credit, they may be exiled. If they actively harmed the true hero or the quest, they must face a more severe functional consequence. When the true hero makes the final choice regarding function U, they are not just punishing a villain, they are publicly affirming the thematic conclusion of the entire journey. The successful execution of the false hero sequence, L leads to EX leads to U, ensures that the story ends not just with a victory, but with a confirmed identity and a justified final order. Conclusion: the power of authenticity. The false hero, function L, is more than a plot device. They are a structural imperative. By introducing a character who mirrors the path not taken, you force your hero and your audience to confront the integrity of the journey. The temporary success of the false hero raises the stakes and ensures that when the true recognition, function X, occurs, it is an emotionally and functionally irreversible moment of triumph. You now possess the blueprint to engineer this identity crisis. You know how to make the false hero's claim believable, how to map the evidence required for irrefutable proof, and how to sequence that final, powerful shift into the state of transfiguration, function T. Your hero's victory is now not just achieved, it is authenticated. This structural integrity is the bedrock upon which all successful finales are built.